Hi everyone, I'm gonna show you a few more ways you can use transfers, and I promise this will be the last time I am talking about them. I'm gonna maybe show you some different artificial systems you can try out if you're into that sort of thing. But for now, about transfers, these are quite interesting methods. I don't play all of them. I'm actually not completely convinced of them. So if you somehow feel that I have my doubts about these ones, then you'll probably be correct about it. So some more transfers. And one thing that we've seen is that over T-Watch, so the one club opening, then a responder has a very nice way of showing majors one step below, and then opener can bid the major themselves if this is somehow either with a weak no trump or with a waiting bid, like a three card support, or if they have some kind of issue. The main point is that this is a pretty big theoretical win, that opener can bid this kind of idle bid of bidding the major that responder already showed. Over one diamond, we don't have this luxury. Opener can have a various waiting bids that I've shown, but at least from responder's point of view, these bids are kind of overloaded. So one heart, one spade is okay, but then one no trump would show no trumps or clubs or diamonds less than 10, and then two clubs, two diamonds would be 10 plus. There are no transfers. Of course, the point of bidding in bridge, or like of playing bridge, is not just to play transfer. So you're not married to transfers. It's not a bad thing in and of itself. But in this case, transfers on the left side did help us theoretically, as I hope I've managed to convince you. So could we put in transfers somehow anyway? Now some people switch one heart and one spade. That's actually interesting, but overall I'm not convinced at all. You're kind of putting something from one pocket and putting it into the other, and you feel like you gained in bidding space. I'm sure there are theoretical reasons for those methods as well, but overall I think it's just complicating things a bit too much. However, there is one situation in which you can use transfers, and that's if your opponent doubles, and now suddenly you can untangle all these hands. So pass is some kind of boring hand that you'd rather not bid. Redouble would show hearts, so we're suddenly here at the one diamond level, right? One heart would show spades, one spade would show some kind of a no trump hand, and if we just carry on with this, then one no trump would then show clubs, two clubs would show diamonds, and two diamonds would show diamonds but a weak hand. So suddenly, thanks to our opponents, we managed to disentangle all these different hands that before one no trump kind of had all three of these, and now we suddenly have access to more bidding room, so we can disentangle them. Now you probably wonder, like, what's going on after one club? What's going on if one club is doubled? And now here you can play something very simple. So redouble would show diamonds, one diamond would show hearts, and so on. And now okay, maybe in one spade you would remove these diamonds, but then you're saying, like, that's great, Chaba, but didn't you say that you should show majors first? And the answer is that in this particular case, maybe not, because if you actually use this redouble this way, then you can do something like this, that pass actually shows club tolerance and redouble shows diamond tolerance. So this is kind of prophylaxis against penalty passes or opponents trying to punish us, that actually responder can try to show some minor length, because opener often has a hard time running. So if they have only three clubs, or even if they only have four clubs, they might have an issue trying to figure out what to do. So if responder can show their better minor with their first call at such a low level, then opener can probably place the contract much more accurately between one club double and one diamond. Okay, one club redouble is something that maybe you don't want to play, but that's still better that responder managed to show something. So the only thing you lose here is this penalty redouble that sometimes people use, but that's actually very hard to catch your opponents. Your opponents usually have an 8-card fit, and they will usually even try to play it on the one level, and then now you're suddenly trying to punish them. It's difficult to do. Honestly, I mean, maybe if you're an expert, you can do it reliably. I haven't seen it so many times on ViewGraph either, so I would say that this kind of low-level transfers is actually a theoretical gain. And whenever I can convince my partner of it, I do play them. Now, over majors, this is actually a much more common thing to do. So, for example, on the left, this is some kind of standard American. With 2/1, it's something similar, but you just raise these 11s to 12 or to 13. But yeah, just the main point is 1-0 trump is some kind of a vast range of strength without actually giving a proper shape definition. So 6 to 10, any roughly, and then 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts would all show strength and shape. And now we can go back to our previous discussion that maybe showing shape is better than showing strength. So then if they double, then we can now show our shape first. So pass is boring, redouble is some kind of strength showing redouble, but neither of the below. So 1-0 trump would show clubs, 2 clubs would show diamonds, 2 diamonds would show hearts, 2 hearts would show a good hand with fit, let's say 8+, because we can still stop at 2 spades. So it's probably okay to do this on a relatively weak hand. I mean, a weaker hand than a limit raise. It's called constructive raise. I like these expressions, but they mean something else for everyone. And 2 spade would be like a preemptive raise. So we suddenly gain this hand type as well. And now you might say like, okay, that's great, but you gain this all this room because they doubled. But the thing is that the standard way of playing over doubles is pass would be boring, but redouble would just be kind of 11 any, and then all the others would just show kind of maximum 11 with that suit. So transfers are definitely better there than well, it's not expert standard anymore, but the expert standard from, let's say, 10 years ago was this, that 1-0 trump was just kind of a balanced hander, and 2 clubs would show clubs and a weak hand, 2 diamonds and a weak hand, and so on. But I don't want to bash expert standard too much. Actually, most experts would play these transfers here, at least from 1-0 trump to fit -1. So thanks to our opponents, we have all these extra possibilities. And then you might also want to say like, well, why don't you just play transfers here on the left? But then the problem is that often you don't have a 5-card suit to bid, and then if you just bid 1-0 trump on 4+ clubs, then there's too many hands to put into one place. So there's a good reason why people like standard American or 2/1, where 1-0 trump is just a catch-all. It could have like 7 hearts, it could have 2-4-3-3, 2-4-4-3, or it could have lots of different shape and lots of different strengths, but it's probably preferable than 1-0 trump showing something specific, and then all the others kind of suffering due to it. Okay, so this was kind of the first part of my talk, where we can transfer if our opponents double. The second part is like bidding after overcalls. And this method, what I show here is actually my preferred method. So the one that I'm gonna complain about is actually what I probably would play with somebody if I had my way. So actually I like actually natural bidding here, but transfers are available, so I wanted to show them to you. I played both, and I probably like natural better. So 1 club, 1 spade pass, and now 1 spade can have a lot of different hand types. 1-0 trump is roughly speaking 8 to 11 balanced. With 6 or 7, you can probably pass 1 spade with a clear conscience. With 8, 9, 10, it's a bit more delicate, so you probably want to bid 1-0 trump first, and so on. 2 clubs is the Q bid, and it would show a fit, or maybe some super strong hand, but the overcaller will just assume that you have a fit. 2 diamonds would show diamonds, 2 hearts would show hearts, 2 spades would show something like 6 to 9 with a fit. And then the question occurs, is 2 diamonds or 2 hearts forcing? And if they are forcing, then you would need something like 12 plus. Of course, I'm sure you would do it on something less as well and just risk it. But for the whole scheme to work, it should be something like 12 plus, because the one spade overcaller can have quite a weak hand. So you're forcing the auction quite high. And non-forcing people would say that it's roughly something like 8 to 13. These points are almost generated by a random number generator, but I still like numbers, so I include them. So both have obvious pros and cons. So if you have a non-forcing bid and overcaller passes on like some kind of 11 count because they feel they're minimum, and now I have a 13 count or even a 14 count, then we're playing 2 diamonds with 26 points or something. So lots of these annoying things can happen. I would still usually, like, honestly, me personally, I like non-forcing 2 over 1s, even 1 over 1s. But transfers can help with this. And the way transfers work is you scramble them around again, so you shuffle them around. So 1 no trump would again show something like 8 to 11, but then 2 clubs, which is the Q bit here, by the way, shows diamonds. 2 diamonds would show hearts. 2 hearts would show a fit. So it's an obvious fit now. It's just two hearts. It goes with a fit. And then 2 spades would be 6 to 9 with a fit. And the completion of the transfer from the overcaller would say, like, I would have passed a non-forcing call. So I would have passed this 8 to 13. So it's roughly something like 8 to 11 and a semi-balanced overcall. You don't want to pass it with a void, right? You would just rather look for a different strain, even if you're getting too high. So it would be something like this, roughly speaking. The reason why I have my doubts about the method is I actually not quite sure how much this helps, but it still definitely gives you some extra possibilities. So I'm kind of on the fence on it. Overall, I prefer the simplicity of overcaller just passing the non-forcing call, saying like, hey partner, I have literally nothing. This is a good contract for us. It's there's something aesthetically pleasing about it. So let's say we're trying to think about follow-ups, and I'm gonna show you some example hands. They're more or less random, and I'm sure people will find some problems with them, but let's look at this. So let's say my partner overcalled 1 spade. I transferred 2 diamonds with 2 clubs, and my partner just completed it, so they have kind of a minimum-ish hand with some kind of diamond tolerance. They can stand diamonds at least, or they have no better idea. So in this case, if I pass, I'm just saying like, okay, look, I just wanted to play 2 diamonds. I'd rather play diamonds than spades. If I bid 2 hearts, it would show diamonds and hearts. Very nice. We're on a low level, and I managed to get in 2 bids, so 2 suits, and we're not even at 2 spades. So that's quite nice, right? Probably this is forcing 1 round, but actually I personally would prefer 2 hearts to be non-forcing as well. Just keep everything as non-forcing as possible. We're kind of in a no man's land here, and we're looking for a playable strain and level. So probably as many non-forcing calls as possible. 2 spades would be kind of a good fit with diamonds as well. So now my partner at least knows kind of 8 of my cards, 5 diamonds and 3 spades. And then 2 non-trump would be like a 2 non-trump bid with diamonds. So my partner can retreat to 3 spades or 3 diamonds maybe. It's quite logical. 3 clubs is probably some super strong hand without a club stop or without a clear direction. So I have some idea. I want to play maybe diamonds, maybe spades, maybe no trump, depending what my partner bids. 3 diamonds is just an invitational hand with diamonds. I mean, it looks like quite a strong hand, but I think we kind of need it because my partner could have, as mentioned, quite a bad hand. 3 hearts, I have no idea. In the previous version of the slide, this was actually empty, but I thought like, okay, I guess it's 5-5 or like 6-5 in the reds, and the good hand is probably forcing. 3 spades, I would say it's a very good hand with a fit, but still probably forcing 3-note trump is then just, okay, I have a 3-note trump bid with some diamonds on the side, and my partner could maybe pull it to 4 spades or, well, I don't know about 5 diamonds, but yeah, some of these bids are a bit too much. So actually you gain a lot of possibilities, but then the anti-transfer part of me would say maybe it's a little too many possibilities. But hey, theoretically it's a nice thing to have, right? Now another sequence here, if it's 1 diamond or opening 1 spade, then transfer started 2 diamonds, where this shows hearts. And clubs will just have to be shown by 2 clubs, because 1-note trump is important to have. So transfer started the Q bid and ended fit -1. Lower is forcing 1 round, and maybe here what you can do as overcaller to kind of reduce the load is you always will have the Q bid available, because as mentioned, anything above the Q bid or including the Q bid or higher will be a transfer. So whatever is not a transfer will be below the Q bid. The Q bid could be like a waiting or minimum bid by opener. So opener can just say like, yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're doing. I'd rather stop as low as possible and then take it from there. And then finally, what about higher? So let's say it goes 2 diamonds, 2 spades, pass. And the answer is, you can just do literally the same thing. Like I'm pretty sure I copy pasted the same thing. Yeah, so it's something like this. Your R1 level higher. On the other hand, your partner's overcall should be that much stronger. So you can kind of keep the same continuations by responder. You could argue with all these different definitions, but let's just keep it simple and basically say like, okay, you can just play the same exact system over your partner overcalling or over lots of different situations like this. Yeah, so these are these transfers, and then finally, if partner preempts, this is one structure I played. And again, I'm not 100% convinced that this is the best way. This is actually definitely unpopular. I haven't seen it played by many experts. I actually learned it from Francis Hindon, who is a top British player, but I don't think many players do this actually. So you can just play all the calls between 2-note trump and fit -1 as a transfer. So 2-note trump would show clubs, 3 clubs would show diamonds, 3 diamonds would show hearts, and so on. And then finally, let's say after a simple acceptance, then you have this kind of possibilities. I'm kind of making this up as I go along, but it would be, let's say pass would just show like, okay, I really just wanted to bid 3 diamonds because I don't like your spades partner, so I'd rather just play diamonds. 3 spades would show diamonds and a fit, invitational. So I don't know what to say, maybe a good 14 count with diamonds and a doubleton spade or so. 3-note trump would be diamonds and balance and the choice of game, so my partner could run out to 4 spades. Now it depends exactly what we're talking about, but at least my partner knows something about my hand. And then finally 4 spades would show like a diamond and a fit with slam invitation, because without slam interest I would have just bid 4 spades. This is one example of how you can arrange these. Maybe you want to say like, well, 4 spades is just lead direct in diamonds or something, but the thing is, whenever I have a game bid, I'd rather just bid game, and I actually don't really like August that much, because I always feel like 95% of the time I know enough about my partner's hand that I can place the final contract, and if I don't know enough, then just this kind of simple binary distinctions will not really help me. So I'd rather just have some kind of asking bid in diamonds, such as here, where, for example, in 3 spades, I would ask my partner look, if you have a stiff diamond, then I'm not interested. But if you have like king doubleton or something, then I'm definitely interested in game. So we should play four spades or something. Again, this is not expert standard. Very few people play it, but I think it's an interesting treatment anyway. What is something that, so just to go very, very quickly through, so just T-Walsh itself is very, very commonly played as a constructing bidding tool. This is, I think, I don't know, from top players, I would say it's 80% or so. I mean, if they play natural, then one club, one diamond should just show hearts. I think Justin Law said it in one interview, for example. One diamond double, redouble showing hearts, I haven't seen it that much, but I actually think that theoretically it's actually a bigger win than here. So this is the number one place where you should be playing transfers. This is actually one place where anything goes. If your opponent double, then you can do whatever you want, I think, in any jurisdiction. The idea being that fourth hand now has a good idea what their partner has. This here, I think I've seen it here and there, but I mean, it's not like I'm looking through like the deep system notes of experts, but I think this is also something that makes a lot of sense. Trying to show your minor suit length in case your opponents are trying to punish you, especially because one club is only two cards, oftentimes. Here, these transfers usually start, kind of in expert standard, usually start at 1-0 trump. So between 1-0 trump and 2 spade, you would have this. This is also very commonly played. And over 1 heart double, it would also start at 1-0 trump in kind of expert standard. So if you just sit down with somebody who is kind of well versed in bidding theory and you just say transfers over 1 spade double, then what they would mean is 1 spade double, 1-0 trump or higher. Here it's about 50-50. I think many people play these transfers. On the other hand, some people play switch. Or maybe 2 clubs would be some kind of a cubed, usually with a fit, and then 2 diamonds would show hearts and 2 hearts would show diamonds. You can do it various ways, but I like transfers for their simplicity. It's definitely not some kind of a minority treatment. Many people do it. And then, yeah, these example hands I made up on the spot. I'm sure experts would disagree with a lot of them, but I'm in the best you have in this talk, at least. Over preempts, I would say it's, I don't know, 1% of experts who would play it. But hey, if you like transfers, if you feel like you don't have enough transfers in your arsenal, then this is one way you can add some more. Again, just having transfers in your system is not an end in and of itself. So I would say maybe if you feel like you're addicted to transfers, then maybe you should try to withdraw from them or something. But on the other hand, it always has some theoretical merit. So for example, here in this particular case, if I just have a 10 count with 7 diamonds and the void in spades, I mean, what are the odds that 2 spades play better than diamonds? It's probably 0. I mean, I'd rather, if I could just bid 3 diamonds and tell my partner, please pass, then I would. Now here, transfers allow me to do it, more or less. Your partner is not obliged to bid 3 diamonds. Sometimes they might bid 3 spades if their spades are very good, or jump accept, so kind of super accept with a decent hand and 4 card support. But then yeah, we're in 4 diamonds in a 7-4 fit. So then I'm also quite happy. Anyway, so the main point is that whenever you have an issue where you don't have a lot of room and you have kind of a wide range of hands you want to show, then transfers can come in handy. So the whole lecture series started with one on Trump, where I have a pretty good idea what my partner has, but they obviously don't know what I have. I can transfer to hearts and then describe my hand again. And this is the main common theme in this, that I want more bidding room for myself because I can have a lot of different hands myself, and I want to ask my partner's help. But my partner's, so I'm not interested in my partner's contribution in the first round that much, only after the second round. So I can say like, yeah, I have a diamond hand and some invitational hand or something. But yeah, it's kind of bidding theoretically. That's the main point, that I can have the forcing variation of my bid and the non-forcing variation of my bid. So I can show diamonds weak and diamonds strong by transferring to diamonds and either passing the transfer later, so passing the acceptance, or bidding on after the acceptance. And this way you can think of many other ways you can implement transfers in your system. I think I covered the most common ones. I didn't go into the one on Trump transfers because I think most people are happy with their system there, although there you can also do more transfers. But it's not something I will discuss. You can probably find some threads on bridge winners or something if you just write in transfer extensions. Anyway, so that's it from me. I will upload more stuff, but not about transfers. Please don't play some kind of drinking game where you get a shot every time I advocate for transfers, because even in these difficult times, it will probably be a bit too much. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you around.